Anmol Jain, and I am working as an assistant professor in IT department at Akgec Engineering College. Today we are going to discuss the basics of HTML, right? Basically this is the subject that is related to the web design, that how the websites are designed. So before designing any website, very basic concept is that is HTML, CSS and JavaScript should be introduced to the students, right? So first thing that is an important one, and this is a basic for any web design, that is the HTML, that is we known as the hypertext markup language. So what the topics we will cover in this class today, that is the basics of HTML, then how we can perform the text formatting, how we can create the table, and how we can design the registration forms. Important thing is that how we can create it with the help of the basics of HTML tags, right? So let me start. The basics of HTML is that HTML is a standard markup language for web pages. So if you go into the history of the HTML, that stands for the hypertext markup language, and the basic objective of to design such type of language was to transfer the messages, and the message is basically in the form of text only. But as the time gradually increases, we converted our demand from text to audio, then audio to video. So in today's era, we can send the audio, video and animated pictures also, right? So we are having a very good progress in this field, but we start with the very basic, that is the HTML, that is the hypertext markup language. So with the help of the HTML, we can create our own website. So what is the website actually, right? So before going to the first step of the HTML, we should understand what is the website. So website is nothing but this is a collection of web pages, right? So collection of web pages. Now one more confusion is this, that what is the meaning of the web page, right, and what is the meaning of the HTML page, right? So when we are calling it HTML page and when we are calling a web page, so firstly we design the HTML page, that means we are using the HTML tags for creating the page, but this is in offline mode, right? That means when we are designing the page at our own desktop or laptop, and we have not uploaded into website or internet, that is not accessible to the internet, up to that stage we call it as a HTML page. But once this HTML page is uploaded on internet, then we call it the web page. Web page means now it is accessible through or around the globe with the help of the internet, right? So this basic concept should be clear, that the difference between an HTML page and the web page. Now we start that how we write the HTML document. So before writing the HTML document, we should be aware that where we write the HTML code. So basic where we write the HTML code, that is we write the HTML code on the notepad or any editor. Today we are having many online editor also, that where we can practice for the HTML tags. So once we have written the code, we will write this code on a notepad, and we will save this file with .html or .htm extension. So every HTML file should be saved with the .html extension or .htm, right? Now what is the structure of the program? As we learn the C or C++ or Java, any programming language, there is certain structure, there is certain syntax to write the program. Similarly, in HTML program, we have a standard structure, there is standard syntax. So the first line of any HTML document is basically the HTML, right? So what we see here, that this HTML is written between these two brackets, that is the opening bracket and the closing bracket, or we can say the less than sign or the greater than sign, right. So this is known as the tags. So once we understand the HTML, that we should learn that what is the HTML, that HTML is a language which is written in the form of the tags, right. Tags means that is written between the angular brackets, right. Then we have each HTML program in two parts. One is the head section and second is the body section, right. So every HTML is having two parts, one is the head and second is the body. Now what head contains, again the head is a tag, and this head tag contains the title tag. So where we write the title of our web page or HTML page, then we make it as a closing of this tag. So next important thing is, when we open a tag, it should be closed also, right. So here this tag is open, that is head tag is open, and we want to write a title between the head tag, then head should be closed. So closing is done with the help of the angular bracket, then this sign followed by the angular bracket, right. So in this way we can start the head tag, we can close the head tag, right. Similarly, now within the head tag, what we see here, that is a title tag, right. What is this title? Where we write the page title, and again this is a title tag, this is open and it should be closed again. So each tag should be, if it is a tag open, then it should be closed. There are certain tags which are not required to be closed, right. So this is the first line. Next we start with the body. This is the body tag. So the body tag contains all the content which we want to display on the web page or the HTML page. That content should be published here, that content should be written here, right. So again we are having a body tag, that is opening body tag, and whatever we want to write, we will publish it here with the help of the tags, then we will close it with the body tag, right. So again what we see here, this is the closing of the body tag, and again what we see here, this is HTML opening, and at last HTML should be closed. So HTML should be closed, HTML should be closed. So what is the structure is, first open the HTML, then within a head write the title, head close, body open, contents, body close, HTML close. Basically this is the structure of the HTML document, right. So what is this doc HTML line? This is the first line. So this shows that this is a document HTML, and it shows the version of the HTML. So sometimes it is asked that what is the current version of the HTML, right. So what is the current version of the HTML? So we are having the HTML version 5. So after every 6 months revision, it upgrades the versions, right. So currently we are having the HTML 5 version. So basically this is the structure of the HTML, right. So again if we go back to the content, that what we have seen, that what is the basics of the HTML. So if I cover this, then we should know that the structure of the HTML page, and what is the need of it. What is the need of it? That we want to transfer the messages. So if we go into the detail of the HTML, that means now I am interested that what I can design here, or what I can publish within the body tag, what content I want to publish within the body tag. So here you are seeing that is the first and the basic tag, that is the H1 within the angular bracket H1, that means this is known as the heading 1. If I say H1, this is in the heading 1. Heading 1 means this is the largest size of the text. Now we have the same thing, that is the H2, and the size of this heading 2 is smaller than the heading 1. Similarly we have the H3, and its size is smaller than the H2, and similarly and so on, we have up to the range of H6 heading. So different heading tags we can use for using the heading, and it will change the size of the heading. So H1 is the highest one and H6 is the smallest one. So next, that this is a paragraph. So whatever the content you want to write it, you can write within the paragraph, then the paragraph should be closed. Similarly, the heading one should be closed. So we will write or we will do this exercise between this body tag. जो भी हमारे exercise, whatever the exercise we want to do, we will do within this body tag, right? So next thing is how we write the HTML. We have learned the HTML. So what we have learned till that, what we have to learn the HTML tags. We have to learn the HTML tags. For example, the heading 1 close, heading 2 close, right? So these are called as the tags. The second word that we generally use, that is the HTML elements in comparison to the HTML tags. What is the HTML element? So an HTML element is defined by the start tag, some content, and tag. So if we are having all these three things, then we call it as a HTML element. For example, here h1, this is the starting tag, this is my content where I want to make it as the heading 1. This is my content on which I want to apply the heading 1 tag, and this is the end tag, right? So this complete line is called the HTML element. So HTML elements with no content, these are called the empty elements. There are certain tags which are having no closing sign, like break, that is a break line. So this is defined a line break, and it is an empty element because this is not have a closing tag. This is not having closing tag. That means if we are using the BR, there will be break the line, and we need not to write the closing, that is, this is not required here. So such type of tags are known as the open tags, or we have the elements with tags with empty elements, right? So this is the difference, minor difference between the HTML element and HTML tags. HTML attributes. So what we have seen still, that we are having the HTML tags where we want to put our contents, we want to put HTML tags effects on the contents. Now in addition to the tags, we can also have certain attributes which will help our tags to improve their syntax, or to improve their look and feel, right? So what the look and feel? So all HTMLs can have the attributes. What attributes that we will see? Attributes provide the additional information about the elements, right? What is the additional information? We will see. Attributes are always specified in the start tag. Start tag will contain the attributes. For example, I have multiple examples here, that this is my tag, that is the A. This is my tag, that is the A tag, that we call as the anchor. But href, this is what? This is its attribute, right? This is its attribute. What is the href? That is href stands for the hypertext reference. Anchor this website with which reference? With this address. That is a hypertext reference. Reference means whenever I will click on this text, it will move to, or will refer to, or will point to this page, that is a www.w3schools.com. So this is an what? This is an extra information, additional information that we can visit with this text to another page or another web page. Similarly, imgsrc, that is the image source. Similarly, this is an additional information, that is the width and height, that we can specify the size of an image, right? Suppose we are having this image only up to this, so it will publish the exact image which you have, but I want to change the size of this image as per my website requirement or web page requirement. I want to reduce it, or I want to extend it, whatever you want to do. So we can do it with the help of the additional information attributes. So width attribute and the height attributes. So it will either can reduce the size of the image, or we can extend the size of the image just by defining these two attributes of an image, that is the width and the height, right. Similarly, again the img src, this is my tag, and this is one additional attribute, that is the alt tag. That is, alt means the alternate, alt means alternate, right. Sometimes we have an image which we want to publish on my page, but due to certain reason, due to the incompatibility of the web browser, the image is not displaying in my web page, right. So if it is not displaying, then how my user will know that what image is here. So the alternate arrangement is that we can publish the name of that image, at least he or she may have some idea that what image may be here, which the web page want to display, right. So this alt tag will publish the name of that image which is not being compatible, for example, which is not compatible for the web browser. So there are certain web browser which does not support certain tags. So this is the challenge for web designing, that every tag which we are using, it should be supported by each web browser. So this requires the testing of the websites, that we have, once we have to publish a website on web internet, we have to check whether this is compatible with the Internet Explorer, this is compatible with the Mozilla, this is compatible with the Firefox, and so on. Important thing more is that whether this tag is compatible with the versions of these web browsers, whether this tag is compatible with the Internet Explorer version 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but currently suppose we are running with the Internet Explorer 11 or 12, right. Similarly, so we have to check all these issues with the during the testing phase of the website. Once it is okay, then we have to publish this web page or the website on the internet, right. So these issues should be considered during the testing phase, that is the important one, right. Next, suppose the important one, this basic, the purpose of the HTML is to write the text. So how we can publish our text that should be more readable, more attractive, and more having look and feel, so that my user can understand what I want to emphasize, what I want to convey my message during this text, right. So there are certain tags which facilitate us, by which or by using them we can make our web page content more attractive, more readable, and comfortable, right. So there are certain tags. So out of these I have taken some, that the strong, this a tag strong. What it does, it emphasizes that this is an important text, right. Italic, whenever I want to write anything in italic mode, so we can write it into, we can use this tag, that is the angular bracket, between the angular bracket I. EM, emphasize the text. So important thing is that it gives the same feel with the italic and emphasize. But what is the difference here? The difference is the emphasize on the verbal text. If I have used the emphasize, then it gives a verbal change on the text. Verbal, this is the meaning of the verbal. Italic means just to attract the user, that is some special. Mark, that is a mark text, is small, this will display the smaller text. DEL, it will delete the text. Suppose you have written certain text, but you want to change it. Actually, suppose I have published the last date of conference, that the last date is August 18, but after certain time I want to change it. So what I will do, I will delete it. And suppose after deleting that date, I want to make a new date for it. So I will delete that date and I will insert a new date. So for inserting a new date, I have a tag, that is INS, insert, right. Next, that is the SUB, that means the subscript of text. Bold, if you want to make a letter bold, you can use this bold text, that is the B. SUP, that is a superscript text. So these are the basically those texts which you use in our MS Word. All these facilities are available in the MS Word, which we want to use with the help of the HTML tags. So let me introduce certain tags and with the help of examples, so that you can understand what actually it is doing. For example, so this is the first one. Again I start the HTML open, then body. What I will see here, I will basically introduce you that what I want to publish it, and I will publish it, and the tags which which I want to publish, that should be written between the body tag. Between the body tag means starting of the body tag and the closing of the body tag, right? So this is the paragraph, this is the text is normal, and I want to show you the effect of this italic tag. So italic open, and I want to make this effect on this text, where I want to change the italic, but text I want to say italic, this text is italic. I want to show this text is italic, it should be look and feel as the italic, right? So you can see here the output. So the output will be in this way. This text is normal and this text is italic. So this is the output of this line, and this is the output of this line. So this is the effect of the italic tag, that we can change this text is italic, right? So this text is italic. So in this way, whatever we want to the effect on any text, we should put the tags, required tags before it, and the closing tags after that, right? Next is small. So what is this? Again I will write this line is small between the body tag, that means after between the body tag, right? What will be the effect? This is some normal text and this is some smaller text. So what is this this is some smaller text. This is the line where I want to put, where I want to make it emphasize, where I want to make it change that this is some smaller text. So just what I have written, the small opening and the small closing. So important thing is on which text you want to make any effect, use the tags, opening text before that and the closing tag after that text, right? Next, do not forget to buy mark tag. What is the importance of the mark tag? That I want to make it some text visible and more attractive. So suppose do not forget to buy milk. I want to make milk as a special or more attractive word. Then I will put between this mark tag, and the output of this will be the milk. That means you are seeing that the milk is having a background color now. So this is the important thing of the mark tag, that we can make it like this. Next, delete. Whatever I want to delete the blue word. My favorite color is blue, and suppose I want to change it. That my favorite color is blue. I want to make it delete, and I want to update it, right? So delete the blue followed by the red, right? So in this way we can delete the word, that whatever is written earlier, right? I want to make a change which I want to show that it was the earlier, but I want to make a new change. So just I can delete this word and write a new word which I want to write, right? Next, the same thing can be done in this way, that my favorite color is blue. First what I did, I delete the blue, right? Then after that I use the insert for the red. So my favorite color is blue, this is deleted and red is inserted here, right? So these are the important ones which are generally used today for designing a web pages during the conference, or where we have to basically publish the last dates, or there are some corrections in the web pages, right. So we can use this. Important thing that next is the subscript. So what is the meaning of the subscript? Suppose we are having a text like this H2O, which we use in chemistry, right. So H2O, what we see here, that H, this is 2 and this is O. So this 2 is known as the subscript. This 2 is called as the subscript, right. So how I can use, or how can I write such chemical components or subscript text using subscript tag. So what I written here, this is H followed by 2, because I want to make 2 as a subscript now only. So I put this 2 between the subscript and the closing of subscript, then the O. So this can be written as a H2O. So the output of this text will be the H2O. So this is an important one. These are generally asked in the question paper, that how we can write a chemical equation using the HTML tags. Suppose I say that write the CaCl2, calcium chloride, using HTML. So how will you write? So then Ca, no problem, Cl, no problem. Between the paragraph tag we can write it simple. But after CaCl, I want to make it that is 2, that's the subscript. So how I will make it subscript? That make use of subscripted, that is sub, followed by 2, then closing of subscript. Right. So by making use of closing of subscript, so this will produce, or then after that close the paragraph. Now if you write, or if you check the output of this, so this will produce the CaCl2, which I want to publish on my web page. So by using the subscript, we can make basically the chemical equations. Next, superscript. So in this equation, what we see here, that x cube plus x square plus 1, so this 3 is called, that means that is power. Power is known as the superscript of a text. So this is 3 is the superscript. So by using the superscript, we can basically, or generally use to write the mathematical equations, right. So how we can write the x cube plus x square plus 1, that x, then x cube. So 3 should be followed by the superscript. Superscript 3 plus, so this will present s cube, sorry, x, then it should be closed plus, so this is a plus, then x superscript 2 closed plus 1. So this will produce the output as x cube plus x square plus 1. So in this way we can write any complex equation by using the subscript or superscript tag, that are very important to write. So it's an important one. So after the text formatting, which I have started, so basically these are the purpose of the text formatting, that where I want to make my text as the bold, italic, underline, superscript, subscript, delete, insert. There are many more that we can improve our text more attractive. We can change the color of text, we can change the alignment of the text. So that is another thing that we will see in the next class. Next we move the table creation. Generally we see that each web page is having a number of information available into the form of table, right. So, this is not easy to draw the table like Word or Excel, but HTML provides the tags by which facilitates us with the help of tags we can create the tables. So, table is what actually. So, basically what is a table? This is the arrangement of the row and column. Each table is having row and column. So, this is row, 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 this is column 1, column 2, column 3. So, this should be known that this is a combination of the rows and columns. Out of this, what actually important is that the first row or first column, this may be treated as the heading, right. So, what the structure of the table in the HTML, structure of the table is that each table is started with the table tag, and each table tag is followed by the table row, and each table row contains the table headings, right. Then the table row closed. That means what we have done up to this stage, I have created one row, that is my row number 1, and it is having 3 headings, that is a TH, that is a name, physics, chemistry, right. So, these are 3 headings. So, what actually I want to emphasize here, that how many columns will be there in a table, that is not decided. It is decided by the table heading tags. So, I can note it here that columns are decided by TH, that means table heading tags. So, if I want to make one more column, I will make one more table heading, right. So, once I have created the heading, row heading, now what I want to do, that I want to make the data for each row and each cell. So, this is all known as the cell, these all are called as the cell, table cell. Right. So, what I want to do now, I want to insert the data into these table cells. How I can do it? So, now next again I will create a new row, right. Now, TD, table data, TD stands for table data. So, the order will be the same as the name here, table heading, first data will be go into the first heading, that is a name, second that is physics, suppose this is 30 marks, and this is a chemistry, so 40 marks. If you want to make it blank, do not write any value here, so but you have to write the table data tag, make it empty, then there will be no value here. Then this is my second row, third row, this is my third row, that is again what I will do, I will start with a table row tag, insert the data here with the table data tag, close the table row, and what I have done, I have created a row 3, third row, right. What I have seen here, that what is the structure of the table, table tags, the table followed by the table row, then followed by the table heading, then table row close, then insert the data. How we insert the data? With the help of first row, create the first row, that is the TR, then insert the table data, that is TD, 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 right. So, in this way we can create multiple cells or multiple rows, and we can insert the data in multiple cells, right. So, this is the easiest way to create a table, but sometimes we have the different type of table formats. Different type of table format means what we see here, that this is the table 1 for example. What we see here, that here is having cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, but the heading is the merging of two columns, right. This is the name. Suppose this is having the first name and this is having your last name, that we want to break the heading in two parts. So, how I will achieve this merging of two cells? It may be the merging of two cells in column wise, it may be the merging of cells in row wise. Here what I am seeing, that 3 cells are merged. Similarly, here we have the merging of 4 cells, but at different locations. I think I am able to clarify the problem. What problem is, I am having a table, no problem. I can create a simple table that is having the rows and columns. I can insert the data between them, no problem. But I can have a problem or certain challenges that 2 cells are merged either in column wise or in row wise or anywhere in the table. So, how we can create such type of cells, that the merge of 2 cells. So, this can be done with the help of the 2 tags, that is the column span, colspan we call as the colspan, and second is the row span. So, column span and row span. So, these are 2 important tags for creation of the beautiful tables, right. Sometimes we need certain modified tables that make it more attractive data, right. So, how do we write? The important thing is, you have to analyze that what you want to do. So, what I see here, this is my table and this is the merging of 2 cells or rows. So, this is the merging of 2 columns. This is the column 1, the column 2. This is a merging of 2 columns, and where it is going to be merged. So, this is my first heading, is the first line of the table. So, what I see here, that what I have to written, that I want to make this heading tag and it should be merged with 2 cells or 2 columns. So, what I have written here, that the column span equals to 2. I repeat, first identify whether you want to merge the columns or you want to merge the rows. So, in this case I want to merge the 2 columns, right. Identify that at which stage you want to merge the columns. What I see here, that this is my first row, that is the heading. I want to make it these 2 columns merged, right. So, how many columns are to be merged? So, write the same place, that the table heading column span equals to 2. So, it will start from here and it will move up to the second only. So, it will merge these 2 columns now, right. So, this will merge these 2 columns. So, whenever you see this output of this first row, you will see that the 2 columns has been merged, right. Suppose I want to, if I write it 3, so what will be happen? The output will be what? These line will be disappear and age will be moved to the next column, and it is having 3 columns, merging of 3 columns, right. So next again the same, now insert the data, table data, no problem. This is the column 1, this is the column 2, row 2, column 3, that is Zill, Smith, and age is 43. So there is no problem. I think now it is okay. All right. So next we move to the another problem that is related with the table, that is the row span. What is now new? What is now new here, that we see here that here 2 rows are merged. 2 rows are merged. So how we can make it merge? So identify that which rows number you want to merge. So this is my row number 1, and I want to merge from row number 2 and 3. I want to make row number 2 and 3 should be merged, right. So where should I write the merging or row span? That will start with the first row or the second row. If I want to merge the row number 2 and 3, that means I want to make it start from the row number 2. So I will write this row span at row number 2, because this is my row number 2 and this is my row number 1. So you have to calculate, you have to identify that where I want to start the merging of the rows. So this is my row span equals to 2. So what automatically it will take next row as the merge. So row second and row third will be merged. This is having the data as the font number and the table heading close. So now the table data is 555 1 2 3 4. This is first data, and next row data will be inserted with the next row, that will be 555 8 7 4 5. So this is my row number 2 and this is my row number 3. This is row number 2, row number 1, row number 2, 3. So what I see here, that where I want to merge the rows and columns, identify. If you want to make the columns merge, use the column span. If you want to make the row merge, use the row span. Next step, identify the column number or row number where you want to make it merge, or up to which cells you want to make it merge, right. Next we have the HTML forms. So after the creation of the table tags, we are having the HTML forms. I will show you the output of these. So I stop here. We can discuss the next topic.